Disney CEO Bob Iger talks a little bit about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and expanding the portfolio of available characters and what to do with legacy characters. And he says that it might be time to abandon sequels that go beyond just trilogies and retire some legacy characters in the MCU. So again, this comes at us directly from Bob Iger while he's making the rounds talking about the future of not just Disney, but everything Disney holds, which means Marvel, Star Wars, and everything. Of course, talking about how everything feeds into one another, the profits, and the ultimate end goal. And recently he was talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and sort of the big vision for it and what's going to be happening with many of these characters. And he brought up the over 7,000 Marvel characters that exist and how Marvel Studios was built on the back of pretty much nobodies, if you will, like B and C list characters. And he says that the goal going forward is to expand upon characters that are also in the B and C tiers and take some of these legacy characters that are existing currently and pull back on them because they don't want to keep going back to the same well over and over like some of their competitors. Now, obviously, here he's talking about Batman, for example, where no matter what, WB and DC cannot move past Batman, they can't move past Joker, they always go back to the same well. He says that for them, they're looking at the sort of landscape and saying, okay, 3 films might be enough. Some have gotten 4, but do we really need that same character in a 4th, 5th, and 6th when we're already introducing new characters that are doing the same numbers that Phase 1 and Phase 2 characters did, and then we can make those, by the time they get to a trilogy, be as big as some of these other characters that started in Phase 1 barely making anything, but a decade later, they're a billion-dollar franchise. So he says the goal for Marvel is to sort of keep reinventing these characters and doing the same thing instead of pulling back to the same familiar, trusted, this is what the fans want. And at the same time, people will argue that they should go back to the same thing, but it doesn't make sense. Like, what would you get from a reboot of Captain America? You really can't do it much better, so why bother? And that's not their goal. Their goal is to keep growing. And he says that there's already things in place and new franchises that are coming that are going to continue to evolve the MCU in this direction. Obviously, he's hinting at the Fantastic Four and the X-Men if you just pay attention. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this, but whatever happens, we'll be here to talk about it. And, well, we'll definitely be here to talk about how the discourse is going to be connected to it. Because, let's be real, it always is.